Hello, good evening, students. Welcome to your PSIR session. So, before we start, I will just share the screen with you, and then we will discuss what this program is all about, the program that we are starting for PSIR, and the general background of how you can ace on your political science optional, how you can increase your marks in your political science optional. Okay, so just a second, I'll share the screen. Okay, hello students. So the aim of this session is it will be a short session. I hope it will be wrapped up in half an hour. So because some of you are giving mains this year, some of you are preparing for next year. So I do not want to take much of your time. So the aim of this program is to help you to prepare for your political science optional for this year as well as for next year. Okay, so 2022 mains and 2023 civil services examinations. Okay, now something about myself. I'm Siddhesh Singh. My name is Siddhesh Singh, and I have worked for the past 2 years in 2019 and 20 in Kautilya Academy, and then I'm a former assistant professor in Akal University. Okay, during the time of when I used to give UPSC, I have increased my marks, even though I'm a post-graduation political science, but I have, because of the wrong approach, I got 215 marks, but I've increased it to 285 and then to 315 marks in UPSC. There are certain patterns that I have seen that if students follow those patterns, see, 315 is something that no one can expect. I think that if you'll follow certain principles, it is very easy to get 270 plus. It is very easy to get 270 plus. That means around 135 plus in both the exams. Obviously, you can ace it and push it till 290. And if your luck is on your side, you can cross 320 also. Okay. So this is about myself. Now let's talk about political science and X factor. Now, what is X factor? That more than 30 students I have guided in the past, and they have improved their score in political science in my personal capacity. And when I will start talking to some student, whenever there is a conversation about PSIR, the first thing that they will say is that, sir, I have read X notes. Now, because of now we are working in an organization, we cannot take the name of those notes, but we all know that every political science student has read one basic notes, one basic class notes. So that means that no political science student is different from another, because everyone is reading the same notes. Everyone is reading the same notes. So I don't even ask now students whether you have read those notes or not, because I know what I will get the answer. So what I mean to say is that if 1500 students are appearing in mains for political science this year, it is just a number I'm telling you, then at least 1450 means almost 99% must have read the same notes, if not all 1500, right? So those notes forms the base. I'm not saying those notes are good or bad. I'm just saying that now it has become a kind of common minimum program. Same notes can fetch you 300 marks, and same notes can bring you to 190 marks. So this is the difference. Okay. So the notes that you're reading, the study materials that you're reading, it's not just about notes. Anything that you're reading, it is not the determining factor. It can form a base of your preparation. It can give you knowledge. It can bring your marks to a certain level, to a X level, right? But it is not a determining factor. Plus one. The same thing I have done when I started the Phoenix program. I always said, and Phoenix is not something, it was something to not just provide classes to students for prelims, but also to form a certain mindset. And I've always said that mindset matters most, your preparation, because if you've seen the paper this year also, no amount of study that you will do will help you in your final examination. For the reason being, they are not asking questions from the study material that you are reading. If you are reading X book, then you are expecting that questions will come from this book, but it won't happen. Those questions will not be coming from those books. Okay, so that is the mindset that I've prepared for Phoenix students, that be prepared that question paper will be very tough, and then you will very easily you can tackle it. And almost all the students have performed very well in the prelims examination. So this is the, so I talked about X plus 1 factor in your in the Phoenix batch also, when I said ki, if you take each subject, for example, ancient, medieval and modern history, and if you can inch just 1 marks in each subject, just 1 marks, it can create a difference of 20 marks in your prelims preparation. So same way I'm saying that if you can fetch just 1 marks more in each answer, so for each question you will be each question paper you will be writing 19 answers. Okay, so 10 will be compulsory and 9 will be the optional answers that you will be writing, so total 38. So if you can increase just 1 number in each of these answers, you can increase your marks by 38 marks. Matlab, if you got 200 marks, you will get 238. Okay, it is not a big jump, but if you have got 238 marks, then your next jump will be very high, very big. It can bring you into the final list, even in top 50. Okay, but the thing is, it is easier said than done. It is very easy to that I say that you will get, you should get 1 extra marks in each answers, but it is very tough to get that extra mark. Okay. So my belief has always been that if you are able to finish the paper on time, अगर आपको mechanical constraint नहीं है, because if you have mechanical constraint, then you will have to push yourself, then you will have to write very fast. Okay, but if you do not have the mechanical constraint, which I think 90% of the students do not have, they can finish their paper easily, they can manage their paper easily. It's just that you have to put a practice on it. Then I feel that even if a student is writing just 1 answer, अगर आप सिर्फ आपने एक क्वेश्चन उठाया है कि equality of outcome, okay, this is the question of your day, and you will just write answer of this question. Okay, whole day you will just write, आप एक आंसर लिखो, and then try to see what are the things that you could have added in that answer and how you could have made it better, है ना? Even the better ways ki write 1 answer and then compare it with some topper's notebook if it is available online, and then see what are the points that you have missed. So the point that I'm making is that you should try to make each answer as best answer possible. Whichever answer you are writing, अगर आप equality of outcome को लिख रहे हो, then you should make sure कि पूरे दिन में आप सिर्फ ये क्वेश्चन का आंसर कर रहे हो, but when you write this answer in the mains examination, this should be the best answer among all the 1500 candidates who are writing PSIR. This is the simple mindset which will increase your marks because then you will be fighting for 1 marks in each and every question. You will not, because sometimes what happens is, suppose there are 5 questions compulsory, अब एक तो बिल्कुल सीधा पूछ लिया, फॉर एग्जांपल मल्टीकल्चरलिज्म पूछ लिया ना, अब you know multiculturalism from the back of your hand, so you can write very beautiful answer in multiculturalism. But then there is one question on, suppose, right to property. Okay, now right to property is a very general topic, so writing it from the perspective of political science is quite tough. Okay, you have to convert it from the perspective of political science. Okay, it was asked in the context of Indian Constitution also, but you can add Locke and other philosophers also. The whole American culture of property you can add in this thing. So now this answer you will write very beautifully. This will be just that you have written some general answer and some things you have quoted just to make it a better answer. But if you will practice this question now, because now is the time to practice. If you are practicing it right now, this anyways I will write this one better, multiculturalism. Okay, but this one is tougher because it is a general question, it is a GS type question, and then it will be very hard for me to write it from the political science perspective. Similarly, there was one question on data localization. Okay, now data localization we study in our prelims also, and we studied in our GS3 internal security also. But writing it from the perspective of political science, ओके, कि डेटा लोकलाइजेशन पे आप क्या बोल सकते हो, जो प्राइवेसी के इश्यूज हैं, जो ग्लोबल वॉरफेयर है, उस पे हाउ कैन दीज थिंग्स मैटर, हाउ कैन यू राइट इट फ्रॉम द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ पॉलिटिकल साइंस. That will only happen when you will consciously write answers and consciously will try to develop that analytical frame of mind. Okay, because after the exam what happens is that we wrote very good answers, but we tend to forget the tougher ones. The questions which were tough, we will forget about them. There were some tough questions also. We will just, it is only when final results come and then we realize, okay, we should have written better answers in the tougher questions also. Okay. So I can tell you something, that if it is not too hard to score high in political science, as I said, it is very easy to score 270 plus in political science, provided that you maintain originality. What I mean by originality is when I check copies, if suppose I'm checking copies of 5 students, and suppose there is a question on suppose Indochina. Okay, so if if candidate A has quoted X scholar, okay, according to X scholar, something, something, something is going on, then I can expect that D has also written the same thing. So there is very little originality in the answers. The reason being because majority of the students, I can tell you, they do not read the books. And those who read the books, their answer is completely different from those who just have read notes. Okay, I'm not saying those who just read notes, they do not write good answers, but I can say that originality is on those students who read books. Okay, and you do not have to read 500 pages books. I'll tell you how to read books also. Okay, and then if you maintain sanity. Now, what is sanity? It simply means that sometimes what happens is that one students, if they have asked something about, especially this happens in paper 2, if they've asked something about, suppose on the nuclear uh, uh, arms race, है ना? If they've asked something on nuclear arms race, so they will not answer what has been asked in nuclear arms race. They will answer according to X scholar, then according to Y scholar, then according to Z scholar. So they have just mugged around 10 scholars on nuclear arms race, and they will just write down all the name of all those 10 scholars in those nuclear arms race. No analysis, no analytical frame of mind, no statement made by any great leader, nothing, no examples on the nuclear arms race. They will just dump all the scholars that they have memorized. Okay, now if you have done this, you will feel very confident that, oh, I have written a very beautiful answer, I have quoted so many scholars, but you will get very, very, very less marks. It becomes very irritating to read such kind of answers, whether I'm checking it in university or whether I'm checking it for the UPSC students, right? So it becomes very, very irritating when you write these kind of answers. So that's why if you will maintain originality and sanity, then it is very easy to score 270 plus in this examination. Okay, so in this program that we are starting in S1P. So this is my aim to give you the X+1 factor. Okay, now how to give this X+1 factor? So first is one-to-one mentorship. So this is the hallmark of S1P. S1P started this. We have seen it. We have seen it in prelims also, and we have seen it in mains also. Okay, when we provide one-to-one mentorship, we have been able to make programs which are beneficial for students who are different, because not every student is on the same ship. So sometimes we have to make the programs in such a way that it should provide best result for the students. Okay, you can see in the final result also this year that the hallmarks that has been praised by everyone is our mentorship program. So obviously in this program also, even though it is a test series, but the main component will be one-to-one mentorship. So I'm personally looking after this program. So any student at any time till the duration of this program, okay, so till mains for 2022 candidates, and I think it is till October or November end, till for 2023 candidates, I will be available even after this course. I do not tend to lose students. Even after the course time has ended, you can contact me for the general guidance. Okay, so you can ask any problem, any topic, any specific topic. If anything that you're facing, okay sir, I'm not able to do the following topic properly, or I'm getting confused on such kind of questions, so you can ask anything regarding political science. I'm here to help you. I have done this in Phoenix also, and it has provided very, very good result for me. So I'm expecting that same thing will happen in political science also. Okay, so first thing is that one-to-one mentorship, because every student's need is different, so it will be heard, and then guidance will be provided as per the need of the student. Okay, so anytime you can message me. There will be for call, there will be a fixed time. I'll tell you that at that time you can call me and we can discuss whatever problems you have, but message you can send me anytime, and I will reply it within 24 hours. I reply it usually, but within 12 hours I mostly reply on the queries that students send. Okay, so this is first thing, that I will be available to each and every student to personally guide them for the political science. Now second thing, what is the orientation of this session? So before this session, there will be important topics that I will discuss, and then there will be I will give you an example in the next slide. So the general orientation that I will try to make of the student. So what is general orientation? It simply means that when you are reading something, you are reading a text, then there should be a purpose of reading it. Okay. So whenever you are reading it, I will make sure that when you're reading the notes or books or whatever the things that I have told you before. So suppose if you're reading equality, then understand what equality is, but do not dwell too much into the definition of equality. Okay, move on to the theoretical framework of equality, that how the liberals, the communists, the socialists, the neoliberals, the multiculturalists, how they see the equality. Okay, so you have to understand it from their perspective. Then there are certain filler topics like equality of opportunity and equality of outcome. Now that is an extension of debate between the liberal view of equality and the Marxist view of equality. Okay, you can also read a little about the conservative view of equality that you can add in your answer, so that it will give you an edge. It will give you a even more your answer a more depth. Okay, so for each topic I'll tell you that what should be your general orientation. Okay, I will also provide PDF material for each topic. Now do not worry, your notes will be your base things. Whatever your notes you are reading, that should be your base material. But these PDFs, see, there are certain PDFs of, obviously I cannot name them here because of the copyright issues, but the group that will form, that will be a private group of the students that they have joined. So for every topic I will provide some PDF, and it will be 20 to 30 pages maximum. I'm saying maximum 20 to 30 pages, and if you will read it, it will give you a very different understanding of the subject. It may provide you some very good examples. Like for equality of outcome, there is one very good example in Andrew Hawood books, in which he has talked about how Mao implemented equality of outcome, in which he banned all kind of competitive sports like football. He wanted such kind of equality, right? So diverse reading always tends to help. It will always help you write better answers. So for every topic, not every topic, but every important topic, wherever it is possible, I will provide PDF materials, whether it is from Yojana or whether it is from a number of books I know, for which certain chapters are very important from your political science of perspective. And definitely it will make you an X+1 students. Okay, so X notes everyone have read, but those PDF very few must have read. Okay, so that will add value. So in this way, I intend to form the content of my students. Okay, they have a very good content. That is the basis of this. So whenever there will be a session, there will be almost 5 to 6 days gap for you to read that topic, and then there will be a test. Okay, so in these 5 to 6 days, what you can do, you can form the content, which is the base of your preparation. Okay. Then I will also discuss the kinds of question example. For example, if there is a session on political theory, meaning and approaches. Okay, so first session we are covering all the theoretical aspect of your political theory. Okay, so suppose if there is political theory, meaning and approaches, there are 5. If you will see past 25-year papers, the 5 major things that have been asked in this exam are behavioralism, post-behavioralism, decline of political theory. So sorry, 4, and difference between normative and empirical theories. These are the 4 major topics that has been asked in this exam. If you can form just a skeleton notes, matlab ki if behavioralism they have asked, what you will write in introduction, what will be your second, third, fourth, fifth, and concluding paragraph. Same for all these topics. Then almost 80% of your topic is done. You are good to go. Then, because 20% obviously there are some filler topics that they may ask, but these are the major topics that you have to focus when you're reading political theory. Okay, now what is the best source? I personally have read for this thing from a lot of sources, from IGNOU, also from other books also, but I think that OP Gauba's political theory, chapter 1, nature and significance of political theory, this is the best source that you can have for this chapter. So if you will just do one reading of this topic from this book, and from your base notes, add whatever extra material you find in your base notes or whatever notes you have made, and definitely your topic 1 is over. You have already got +1 marks in that. Okay. After this, I will discuss the type of questions that can be asked. So from this question, from this topic, there can be statement type questions. Okay. Like Nicholas Polonza, there was one question on that. I cannot remember the question, but something like a political theory is not hard as calling or something like that. So how can you answer the statement type questions? How can you answer the short answer type question? Short answer matlab, they will ask just post behavioralism, comment on post behavioralism. So how can you answer? Because for this statement wise question, you have to start your introduction in a different tone. For short answer type question, you have to start your answer in a different tone. Okay, so I'll tell you how to answer these questions. Then I will also discuss a way to obviously to approach the topics, that when you're reading something, how to maximize your study hours, how to in the minimum minimum time you should be able to maximize your knowledge from those topics. Okay. So what is the component of this program? It is not just a test series. Obviously, there will be some test series because I will be checking your answers. But the core component is not that it is very easy for me to just start a test series. I will give you tests. You give me answers. You write the answers, and I will check it, and I'll give you marks, and then I will return the answer sheet. It is very easy for me. Okay, but that is not what I want. What I want is when you write answer, there should be a qualitative improvement in those answers. Okay, so first thing I want is key when you will be writing those answers and you will be following the guidelines that I have provided you should qualitatively improve your answer. So each answer that you have written, I will keep the answer questions mix of theoretical questions. There will be theoretical questions. There will be very current oriented questions for which you know nothing about. So how to improve your answer writing in such kind of questions. Okay. Then the second thing is that there should be your answers should be consistent. What it means is if you're writing very good answer on theories of rights, if you know everything about theories of rights, then you should also write same level of proficient and effective answer in Indo-China border conflict. Okay. Otherwise, what will happen? You will get 153, and this is not what I want. I want consistency in your marks, and there the consistency in your marks will be when you are consistent in your answers. Okay, so that is the second thing I'll tell you. And then second, the final thing is that I will not just tell you what to do, but I will also tell you what not to do. Okay, and this what not to do will be done when we will pick up the answers of your own fellow students, and I will just pick up those answers and I'll tell you okay, this is not what you should do in examination hall. Okay, so no one tells you this thing, okay, what you should not do in the final examination hall, right? So the component is that the tests are spread around 2.5 months. For it is longer for 2023 students. Okay, so there is a gap of 5 to 6 days almost for each topic. Okay, and the gap has consciously been given so that you get enough time to read, then give test will be very short. It will be 1 hour test and to check whether you are improving in your answers or not, and they are spread out so that overall you have to develop skill of answer writing. Okay, and this skill it is only developed, it does not develop consciously but subconsciously. Okay, so for the long time, if you are continuously reading this, okay. Someone's mic is on, please turn it off. Okay, please try to keep your mic off. Okay, otherwise it breaks the flows of the discussion. So anyways, so aim is to develop the skill of answer writing. Okay, so each and every answer that you are writing, subconsciously you should develop a better skill for that. Okay, now after each test, what I will do is that suppose test number 1 is over. Okay, now tomorrow is session 2 for next test. So in that session, for first 15 minutes, I will discuss all the 5 or 6 questions that were given to you, and I will tell you what kind of answers you could have written, what kind of introduction you could have written. So you have your copy in front of you. Obviously, you will send me a scanned copy. So the first, there will be 2 levels of evaluation. First will be self-evaluation. You will see, okay, these kind of points I would have added in these answers. Okay, these are the things that I'm missing. Okay, these are the links that I'm missing between my paragraphs. And then obviously the second evaluation will be done by me. I will be checking your copies, right? So I will cover your second evaluation, but there will be two levels of evaluation. And trust me, self-evaluation is the best evaluation. If you can evaluate your answers by yourself, okay, these are the mistakes that I am doing, then you are good to go. You will improve massively in your exams. Okay. So what is my aim for this exam for which I have started? Simple aim is that at the end of the course, each and every student who has joined this should feel confident that they have qualitatively improved their knowledge, and that they have faith that when they will write their mains, they have improved so much. They have wrote answers so rigorously that no matter what kind of questions they will ask, they are very much prepared to answer those questions in a comprehensive manner. They know how to write introduction, they know how to write different paragraphs, and then they know how to conclude, because conclusion is very important in answers, right? So what are the institutional articles when you're writing diplomatic answers? So what kind of language that you should use? So that should be consciously developed throughout the period of the course. Okay, so aim is to develop consistency among the students, and that they should not do content dump, that whatever they know. Sometimes we tend to write whatever we know and not what has been asked in exam. Okay, so the aim of this program is not to form a content dump, but what has been asked in exam. Okay, so if you know very little also about what has been asked, just write what you know about it. Okay, do not just fill it with unnecessarily scholar names or examples or anything. Okay, so this is a very fundamental course that I have started to help you for your mains for this year, or if you're preparing for next year also for 2023. If you are not following a system, you will waste your 5-6 months. I can guarantee you. This is what the pattern is. Everyone will waste their 5 to 6 months of this year, and then they will panic for next year that they do not have time for prelims, or they do not have time for your optional. Okay, so this is the basic program. I hope that you have understood what I have intend to do. Even if you do not intend to join this program, I hope you have understood the basics of how to approach political science, provided that you have some background in it. Because the expectation is that you're not starting from zero. So this is the content of this exam, this course. So if you have any questions, you can ask me, because this is from my side. If you have any kind of question, then you can ask me. I'm very much willing to answer those things.
Hello, sir.
Haji.
Sir, may I ask you what was your marks in individual paper 1 and paper 2 in the last two marks which you have told us in optional?
It was both equal. Okay, because I do not remember for 1 year, but for 1 year it was 169 in paper 1 and 143 in paper 2.
Okay,
so
sir.
Mostly they were consistent, right?
And sir, you had a background in political science.
G.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Can it be joined post prelims? Yes, you can join it post prelims also. There's no issue in that.
Sir, can I ask a question?
Haji.
Hi, sir. Sir, would you mind telling us कि ये scores मतलब in which year were these numbers? And
there were three spread out. It was spread out between 16, 17, and 18.
Okay.
Haji.
Sir, the next question that I have is, let's say I've given one main so far, and I didn't score well at all, and the major reason being that I had started preparing for PSIR after prelims. तो वही जो X वाले notes है, उन्हीं से सब पढ़ के वही सब content dump हुआ है, and I don't think since previous mains I have had that time to do the content. Like, I understood the fact that I need some content enrichment and value addition, but I didn't get the time because of prelims की पढ़ाई and all of that stuff.
हाँ जी.
So with this course, can I stop worrying at all about any and every sort of, because quite a lot of toppers videos and quite a lot of other things, you've realized that for everything you need something unique, you need something that others can't replicate. There has to be some originality. But to be very honest, when you try to do it on your own in these 3 months, along with answer writing, along with all the GS and other preparation, you can't evolve that much time and have that own content. So are you saying that the content that you will provide, post that along with the X notes that you use as the basic for understanding.
Yes.
Can it be ensured that you have to read no other thing, like this much of content would be enough, and you just have to now focus on how to replicate in an answer and how to write a good answer?
Yes. See, for first thing, what you're asking about content, uh, obviously there is no dearth of content in UPSC. You can even for one topic you can read 100 of pages of books and it will not end. Okay, but what I will be providing will be very specific value addition kind of content. So like for example, if I'm telling you you have to read Andrew Haywood, I will tell you which page and what blocks you have to read, so that you can so that your answers get value. It is not that I'll tell you okay, read the whole chapter. Okay, so that is the main idea about this thing. And obviously after that you have to if you'll follow the test series, then obviously your answer writing will improve. So the content enrichment is very specific. It is, I will not tell you okay, read Andrew Haywood for paper 1 and this book for paper 2 and this book for paper 3. That won't happen.
Correct. Okay.
So we can test offline as well. See, for offline, I'll tell you something. I have to just confirm it once. We planned offline center, but I'm not right now because the head of SMP is a little ill. So I just have to discuss with him, and I'll tell you about offline. And if we'll start, definitely we can meet in if you are in Delhi. Okay. So what about time? Timing, see, first of all, there are two things. Even if you have missed the session, do not worry about this, because every session will be recorded. And then whatever the group that we will form of all the students that are joining the program, so we will share each and every session with you. So every session will be available. However, it is highly recommended that you join it live, because if the session is live, then obviously there will be a lot of interest among candidates. But timing will be around 9 or 10 at night. It will be around 9 or 10, so that when you have exhausted from your preparation, whole day you have studied. So 9 to 10, usually students do not study or they tend to slog off. So at that time, I will be taking classes. Okay.
Sir, one more doubt. Would all of this content also cover all the coverage of current affairs, especially with respect to 2B?
See, for 2B, I'll tell you something. For 2B, all the things that have been mentioned in syllabus, for that I will provide some very good articles for that. You should read these articles to understand a basic understanding. Okay, so you do not have to specifically, because most of the questions are picked from topics. Few questions, there will be 3-4 questions that will be very, very, very dynamic. That is that you will only be able to answer if you have consistently read newspaper. Okay.
Correct.
The test is, can we give after? You can give, see, it is obviously it is always recommended that you should give your test on time, because it shows, see, it is if the students who give their tests on time now, apart from if it is not possible for you to give those tests, then if you're giving it in time, it shows the kind of student that you are. Okay, so, and all these small things matter on the day of exam.
Hello, sir.
Just a second. For IR, I'll update whoever will join. I will share some very, very important, very, very relevant. I will not dump you with hundreds of articles, but whatever articles that I will find very relevant from the perspective of political science, I'll share it with you. हाँ जी.
हाँ सर, जैसे आपने कहा कि टेस्ट के क्वेश्चंस 5 to 6 होंगे, मतलब शॉर्ट टेस्ट होंगे ये.
हाँ जी, 6 होंगे, आप समझ लो 200 वर्ड्स के.
200. हाँ, जैसे मेरे लिए पेपर कंप्लीशन एक इशू है, सो शुड आई जॉइन अदर टेस्ट आल्सो फुल लेंथ के लिए?
See, full length for me, I'm यहाँ पे full length नहीं, यहाँ पे सिर्फ एक final full length है ना. After that you have written everything. But what I feel is if you're consistently giving your GS test series, GS पे especially time issue होता है, तो अगर आप उस पे improve कर रहे हो, तो mechanical issue, time management I have not seen कि अगर कोई consciously इसको manage करना चाहे, तो it is very easy to finish the paper. So that is a different thing. But content enrichment, मतलब जो आपका qualitative improvement है, वो different ball game होता है. It is very tough.
Okay.
So this will first mention non-time answer to suitable to me. See, obviously, if you're starting answer writing, even if you have done answer writing, it is suitable for everyone, because that's what, even if you're starting, provided that you have read something, and if you're starting from zero, then it is very, very difficult for me to help you. But if you have read something, then obviously we can improve upon that. 70% so mainly this is for answer writing also, and plus to provide you some extra material, okay, so that your answers are unique from others' answers. See, there will be no model answers because there is no model answer, but I will discuss each question and I will discuss how you could have approached, how you could have approached in that question and how you could have answered those things. Okay, so the approach I will discuss with you, that how to write better answers, what you should have written in introduction, what are the important points that you should have added in those questions, and then what kind of conclusion that you could have given. Okay. This kind of program will be launched from October to December period. No, it will end, I think, for obviously for this thing, it will end before mains, and for 2023 students, I think it is October end or November, and I'm just getting confused a little, but October end or November end, we will finish this. See, if you're very beginner, it will not help you because this is a test. Finally, at the end of the day, it is a test series program. So if you have not read anything, then it will be very difficult for me to add any value in your preparation. If you have read it, if you have read something, at least you have read something, then you can join it. Or if you want to follow a discipline, okay, sometimes someone should form a timetable for me, and then I should be able to read a whole topic within those day and then give tests. Then also you can join it. But if you do not know anything, then I don't think this program is for you. So if you need discipline also, then also you can join it. So regarding to we do not have consolidated notes. Can you tell a base material for that to the whole preparation articles and knowledge of 2? See, for first of all, knowledge of 2A does not help in 2B. Both are very different topics. Okay, and for 2B, I think the best source is newspaper. I have always said that the students who do not read newspaper will be at a much bad situation than the students who read it. Okay, so newspaper is the best source for your 2B, for examples, and for everything. And apart from that, see, then again 2B, it is a very broad category you have asked, but for base structure like coalition government or prime minister or president, you can always read BL Fadi. I've read it, and I think that is the best book that is available. The kind of examples they can give. Then there are few I will share later on PDF. I cannot name a lot of books, but there are few books which have very good chapters on the certain topics like social movements and everything that I'll share later on.
Sir, just probably not a query, just a request if you would entertain it. Would it be possible to attend the first class without enrolling for it and then deciding?
See, I'll have to discuss it. Okay. So if they'll allow, I'll join it. But I think this is the open session. This is the only open session because a few students have already joined it. So it will be unfair from their part.
Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. Thank you.
Okay. So just a second. I have to read the. Obviously, if you want answer writing, if within time limit, if you want to finish your preparation, and if you want answer writing, if you want a timetable that you should follow for your optional preparation, then obviously you should follow it, because even if you're giving it next year 2023, the value that you will add, because see, you will write 2023 mains without joining any test series in 2022 or with joining any test series in 2022. In any case, the second option is always better because you have practiced something, you have read some extra notes, you have discussed with your mentor about how to improve your score, how to write better answers, and then you're going to write those answers. So you will be always in a better position than those who are going completely blank. Okay. See, new batch will not start after prelims, but obviously you can backtrack because there is a big gap even after prelims test. I think maximum there will be 2 tests that we have taken even after prelims result, maximum 2 tests, or I think there will be only 1 test because 23 or 24 prelims test, prelims result will be out, and by that time we have taken at least just one test, so you will not be missing out anything if you join late. So any other questions? Otherwise, I'll end the session.
Yeah, sir. One more question, sir.
Hanji.
So, I have given two mains like 2020, 20 and 2021, and both the mains I'm stuck at around 225 marks.
Okay.
And my problem is that I have read all the X and Y notes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But even after reading all those and additionally, value adding myself, I feel like because I do not have any background from political science and
I
IR.
completely say I got it. It is, you have to work on your answer writing. Simple. You have to
Yeah.
start from scratch. You just have to work on your answer writing.
That's what I'm asking. Whatever you are proposing, that it will be a personalized sort of answer writing program.
Yes.
So like you sound like a person that we can trust. So I'm just asking ki won't it won't turn into something like that. It was personalized for 1 or 2 weeks. Then after that, it's like
See, I'll tell you honestly. I'll tell you about this thing.
Yeah.
It will be personalized. I will tell you everything if students are engaging with you, right?
Yes,
Now
sir.
there will be few students who will just vanish after 1 week,
Yeah, sure.
right? So the thing is, it will be a problem with me if you're trying to talk to me and I'm not talking to you, or I'm not helping you in the issues that you're facing, right?
Yes.
But suddenly, if after joining, obviously I'll do a follow-up for 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, but there will be some students who will just vanish, and they will just say, okay, yes sir, it is going very well, but they will not respond to what I'm asking or anything. So for those students I cannot help. I can only help those who want my help, right?
Yeah, sure. So, but for those who are hardworking and who are following your advices and
Definitely. See,
yeah,
for in your case, if you're telling about you, in your case, I'll just ask you to write 2, 3 answers and send me first to see what kind of answers you're writing right now. Okay, and then everything will start. So it completely depends on the students, like what kind of help they want or what kind of issues that they are
because
facing, right?
that is it what we want, Malu. That's it. Because as you already know that X, Y, or Z, any coaching or and any tutor, they are not providing any personalized or not even catering to the issues of
See,
especially.
I'll tell you something. Read
Yeah.
what I have told you to read. Okay,
Yes.
whatever. Apart from obviously your base material, read what I have told you to read. Add those points in your notes so that enrich your notes even more. Okay,
Yes, sir.
and then follow what I'm telling you and be honest. Just
Yes,
do these
sir.
things and it will improve. I can guarantee
And
you this. It will improve.
just I would just like to say that I'll do everything,
Hmm.
just and except that you just got our back, right?
Yes, yes.
Uh, that's
I
what.
I can I can understand what you want assurance, right? So
Yeah,
I can
I
tell you.
just want you that whenever I'm stuck at something and I'm
I will be there
but
if you because Phoenix I have ran Phoenix program,
yes,
and there were a number of students there. So if someone because obviously I cannot share their details, but if you
yes,
know someone who has joined, they can tell you I was available for each and every student till even after even right now I'm available for them if they are facing any kind of issues.
yes.
So you do not have to worry about that.
Yeah, thank you, Sudesha.
Hanji,
Thank you.
Hanji. So I think we have covered most of the questions. If someone want to ask 1 or 2 more questions, I will take it. Otherwise, we will end the session.
Sir, good
Sir.
evening.
Hanji.
Um, so I wanted to ask that there will be 12 sessions regarding the video, and each lecture would be around like 1.5 or 2 hours.
It will be around 1 hour. Consider it
1
1
hour.
hour, one to 1.5 hour. Huh? Yes.
Okay. And secondly, as you were saying that you'll send us articles, etc.
Yes.
So they'll be limited to the like, for example, as I was going through the PDF. So if we are studying approaches to study of international relations,
So
then
yes.
articles related to that in that particular time period, right? It
Yes.
won't be
Yes.
a haphazard key.
No. So
Matlab,
if you have Western political thoughts, so obviously I will not be sharing a lot on Western political thoughts book because they're very static, right? But
yes,
if I'm sharing something, if next week your test is on Western political thoughts, then I will just share those things because even I know I'm not going to do content dump. I'll put hundreds of articles and then I'll ask you to read. it will be, I'll give you time also to read those things.
Okay, so you'll be giving us article and we'll have to like look through and then accordingly like have like if you have like designed the test or you will be going to design the test, the
Yes.
test will be designed on the article or it's like a journal concern
No.
आपको बस
Test
Okay.
will be, why should I bring questions from the topics that you are reading or
No, I just
from the book
wanted to
that you're reading?
ask.
Because I
Okay.
have to prepare you for those kind of answers also, not you know nothing about it and you have to write.
Yeah,
Otherwise it will be very easy. I'll just pick questions from the topics that I have shared and then you people will answer it very beautifully. There is no point in that.
okay. And sir, the time period for your like 6 questions as you have said, right?
See, test timing you're asking. Test timing,
Yes.
I will put it morning 10 a.m. and I'm expecting that all of you will write it by 11 a.m. So it will be 1 hour test. Okay. And obviously because some students, they are working or they have certain other liabilities.
Yes.
So I
Yes.
can completely understand, but I will just expect that all students should write test on that very day. At least that
Okay.
everyone can do, right?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Anji.
Hello. So just one more thing, sir.
Yes.
So for example, there are certain things like, interlinkages between paper A, B, paper 1 and 2.
Yes.
And apart from that, some other things which you have incorporated in your mains, right?
Yes.
So sir, and sir, also other things which you may be knowing from other toppers or your students. So sir, it would be helpful for us if you share that in in the course, right?
No, so obviously when we are discussing जब हम sessions लेंगे, so
Yes,
I
sir.
will be doing everything. I will be adding a lot of value on these kind of things. Every aspect, whatever you are telling, will be covered. All of these things I've thought about. But one thing I'll tell you, this interlinkages between 1 and B, na, this is very, मतलब you should be very cautious on these things, है ना? क्योंकि फिर वो
Yes, yes.
ठोक पीट के इंटरलिंक करने का कोई फायदा नहीं है unless it is coming naturally. So every aspect of that will be covered.
Okay, sir.
हेलो सर सर
Yes.
कल के सेशन में अराउंड 8 टॉपिक्स थे so how can you cover all the 8 topics like
So for all the 8 topics, see, first of all, this the first test is only the one in which I have covered a lot of topics. Apart from that, the next test, I am covering very limited topics, and there is a conscious reason for that. The reason being because these are theoretical topics and they are very very similar to each other in the sense that the kind of content that they cover, it is very very similar. Okay, so for example, ideologies, now it is a very separate topic, but I have covered it within paper 1. So for ideologies, what I will share is not that you have to read one full chapter, but there are few very good blocks of ideologies that has been given in Andrew Haywood, right? So I will share just those blocks. If you'll read those blocks, there are very good examples, and there are a number of scholars that he has quoted on those blocks. You're good to go. Apart from that, the base notes that you are reading, so you're good to go. So for first test, yes, there will be a number of articles. Although I will not overwhelm you, I will not just throw a lot of articles, but whatever I will feel are very relevant and should add value to your preparation, I'll only add those topics. So if someone else want to ask any question?
Thank you, sir. Good evening, sir.
Anji. Okay, then I will end the session. If we are starting this from day after tomorrow, from 16th. So those who want to join it, I will share the Telegram ID and they can talk to them, and then they can join the program. I'm hopeful that this program has helped you, not just for this course, but informing a general orientation for your political science option. Okay, so it is a very very easy optional, very very interesting optional, and it is very very scoring optional also, provided that you have the right mindset. Okay, then all the best. Thank you.